365 days of horsemanship, day 180. Yesterday was kind of an interesting day. I had the vet come to see Lawrence, which was cool, for his back legs, to have some investigations done. So yeah, so it was interesting. It was really nice. I think, like, I brought him up, like I halted him, and there was like 2 no's and then a yes, and I didn't really like give it much time to like come across like nicely, because the vet was like literally coming in like 2 minutes and she wanted to be ready, and I wasn't really sure how I felt about that, but I actually had quite a good session with him. Like, I actually really appreciated just how good he is, and how good his cues are and how light his cues are, and it definitely, I guess it inspired me a little bit, but I think it also made me feel like maybe a little bit sad. Like, it inspired me that he really could be that soft, and how much my progression and my like improvement in feel and timing had such a positive impact on him. And that kind of made me go, wow, like I bet if we were doing dominant stuff now, that like actually we could have things be really soft. And like, I know him really well, and like Lawrence is very willing, which I think is something that if he was younger and we were doing more dominant work now and more physical work now, that I think I would definitely, I guess not take advantage of, but something that would be like a real benefit in our relationship. It's a really positive attribute in a horse that you're trying to train. But I think it definitely also made me feel like a little bit sad or guilty that like I hadn't been that person for him when he was younger, and now like having that feeling like, oh, is it too late, you know? And I think that it's understandable to feel that way, but I also think that it's unnecessarily self-critical, really, because like fundamentally this is what learning is, you know? Like, if I went back in time now and I could be all those things for him and do all of those things and be really soft in my feel and everything like that, then I would get to the age that he is now and I would learn more things. I would just feel the same, you know? Like, that's progression. Like, you are where you are at the time. I never did anything less than the best that I could at the time, and that's all that you can ever expect from anyone or yourself. So yeah, I think I'm definitely in quite like a challenging, self-deprecating, negative place the last few days. I'm really trying hard to like not have that feel so permanent when I'm in it, because it really impacts my motivation and my confidence. But it is really difficult because, you know, it definitely is something where I feel like not that I'm inauthentic, but it definitely drop you guys as well, sorry about that. Yeah, it definitely makes me feel like just that I'm not where I should be or where I want to be, and I think that potentially there's an element of like, if I'm thinking about the taming wild concept, it feels like a lot of wild and not much taming. Like, definitely some impatience, definitely some Just finding somewhere to balance, you guys, while I deal with this rope. There we go. Just gonna leave pretty soon. I'm just getting ready to leave, but I wanted to kind of talk to you guys. Yeah, and like yesterday, you know, with the vet, I just really, you know, like I'm just really grateful that he's so quick to my cues, like that he does understand me so well, and it was really like lovely to have that opportunity with him. We ended up injecting his hocks with some steroids, so we're gonna see if that helps him in any way. There is some lameness there, which I think has been sort of like low level, chronic, long term for a long time. That's kind of like always been a bit mysterious, and that I've worked on in different ways, but it's definitely progressed recently, and I was concerned that it was potentially arthritic. So just doing those investigations and trying to find out what's happening. Yeah, it felt good. It felt good to do that for him. Luckily he's insured, so I've been able to do that for him, which is really cool. Yeah, so he's now spending 2 days in a pen. He needs to stay still for 2 days, or still-ish, so the steroids don't dissipate too quickly. So yeah, playing with him today was really interesting, because definitely he just is less content in that environment. I'm definitely happy that he's in there instead of in the stable. I think that the stress movement that he would have done in the stable would have been more than it has been with him out. So yeah, I mean, it's been okay, to be honest. Like, I definitely have just been really exhausted the last few days, but yesterday it was really nice to finally be able to feel like I'm maybe going to be able to do something for him, at least get some answers as to what is going on, if there is anything we can do about it. You know, he's 21, so the goal is has been always, but is even more so now, that he should be comfortable and happy. So that's what we're trying to get to. I just literally went up and saw Mia very, very briefly yesterday, and yeah, it was good. I was sort of disappointed not to have time to do more with her. I think, you know, even as I'm sort of talking to you guys, I can see from the outside perspective just how negative my mindset is. And I think I've talked in the past about how when I'm in a positive frame of mind, I tend to talk a lot about the techniques. And when I'm in a more negative frame of mind, I tend to talk more about the philosophy and my personal mindset. Definitely going again through that cycle. If I had like all the time in the world, and something I'd really love to do is like track the days that I feel that way and see if there's any patterns. See if it's like something that's chronological, like this happens every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or if it's to do with after being a long session, or if it's the weather or something, I don't know. So yeah, just kind of trying as much as possible to just keep putting one foot in front of the other, taking the appreciation where I can, and trying to feel positive, take the positive aspects. You know, there were a lot of positive aspects yesterday. It was great to see his x-rays. The x-rays were actually really pretty good for her, for being 21, and to have that, you know, relationship with him where the vet came and, you know, asked me to trot him, and she listened to that, and it was just so soft and easy and lovely, and I just couldn't have asked for anything more. And I was so happy with the responses he was giving me when I would ask him those questions. And yeah, so ultimately that's really what I need to focus on, and just stop being so damn negative. But you know, it's tricky we're all human, we're not perfect. So yeah, just trying to crack along.